Hello, I'm Darren Crapo and welcome to UFO Planet Monday edition. On today's program, we have some interesting clips for you. Clips that were filmed primarily on Independence Day in the United States of America. That's July 4th. We also have a fascinating interview from a gentleman who captured video footage of a UFO from a cruise ship while he was in the ocean. Also, we have, a guest host here today who's minus a name, and we need to give her one. We'll talk more about that right after you check out some of the clips that you're going to see on today's program.
Look at the sky, I saw a black hole, and I told my girlfriend she was seeing the same thing.
UFO Planet.
Well, a few weeks ago, Herbert, one of our viewers from Germany, created us this fantastic little, alien being. And I thought this week, since it's the first episode of our second year of UFO Planet, why not be the first UFO show to have an alien co-host? That's pretty cool. The only problem is she doesn't have a name, and we need to give her one. So if you have any suggestions, visit our website at 4u2ctv.com and tell us what you think we should call her. In the meantime, though, let's get working on the program here. Today, as I mentioned before, is exactly 1 year ago today that I uploaded episode 1 of UFO Planet, and I appreciate very much all the support and viewers that have joined up over the course of the last year. I actually did 3 episodes last July, and I left it alone completely until March of this year when I started producing the program in earnest. And since then, 1.4 million people have viewed the program, and 5,000 of you have subscribed. I just want to say thank you to each and every one of you. Greatly appreciated. So first of all, let's move over up from where I'm standing anyway, to Athabasca, Alberta. Now, as you remember on last episode, we had Frankie Gotts from Hamilton, Ontario, who shared with us his experience of shooting a ruby red UFO video over his city on Canada Day, July 1st. And this video was recorded in Alberta, which is in the west side of Canada, the day before, and is also a ruby red UFO. So take a look at this from Athabasca, Alberta, Canada.
UFO. I mean, do you guys know what it is?
I don't hear anything, so it's not playing.
What is it?
Okay, well,
It's going
still,
so fast.
Typical UFO. Yeah, but
Look at how fast it's going.
It's not stopping, it's just going.
No, Joe.
I wasn't.
Stop trying to make up just
That thing is just hauling ass.
It is going pretty fast and dead silent. That's weird. And it's not stopping.
It's still going. Oh my god, look at all the mosquitoes. Whoa. Oh, it's gone.
So what is it that you think those Athabascans had their eyes on there that night, June 30th in northern Alberta, Canada? It's pretty apparent from from the conversation that you hear during the video that they have no idea what they're looking at. And I think that's very fascinating. Truly, that is an unidentified flying object video that you just witnessed there, a ruby red. Next, let's move on to Michigan, to Kalamazoo. Now, these are some majestic lights that were captured in the night sky on Independence Day, July 4th in the United States of America. And, let's just get the clip going. They kind of talk about it themselves.
What the?
This is unbelievable footage.
What the heck, dude? Bro?
Yeah, that is UFOs for real, guys. Look at the formation.
What is the formation? I can't see right now. Wait.
Look at that.
Whoa, holy cow! What are they?
Okay, switching to manual.
Okay, do yours. What the heck?
So with what happened on Canada Day up here in Canada with multiple UFO sightings, I thought there might be a good chance that the same thing happened down in the United States 3 days later on Independence Day. So our research this week focused on videos recorded on July 4th, and there were a lot of them. That you just saw was one of them from Michigan. Now, it's hard to say what they're looking at there. I would suspect that on July 4th, there's the launching of a lot of fireworks, and there might be the launching of a lot of Chinese lanterns as well. I have no idea. Next, we're going to move to a really fascinating video that was shot over Monument Valley in California in the United States of America. This is the kind of UFO video everybody wants to see. Fairly fascinating. Let's get her going here. You're going to want to point your eyes up to the top of the screen there. We'll put an arrow up so you know where to look. Look quickly. There it goes. Just zips across the top of the screen there. So we're going to have to do a few slow motion replays to analyze this video properly. There you can see the object moving across just the top of your screen. How lucky is that? Just barely captured it. Now in a digital zoom here, that object stands out a lot better and is obviously not a typical aircraft, nor is that a bird or a bug, in my opinion. So in the enhanced here, now let's zoom in and take a real close look at this. Definitely has the shape of a saucer. Enhance it up here a little bit, see if it comes out a little more clearly. So in my opinion, that definitely looks like a saucer. This was published on May 1st, 2013, recorded over Monument Valley, USA. The exact type of UFO video that a lot of people want to see. And I thought that was very fascinating. And I would really be interested to hear about your opinions on that, because I think there's something to be learned from that video. Now, let's move on to our comment section. Now, I've had a few people, not many, that say they don't like the comment section and they skip them. The vast majority of people and vast majority of emails I get tell me to keep them coming and that they absolutely love them. So the majority rules here. But for those of you that, you know, aren't totally interested in reading what other people have to say, this has a little bit of entertainment in it for you now too. So you're going to have to watch it and see what that entertainment is. Here's the comments that were posted on episode 43 of UFO Planet. Seamus, my enlightened friend in Ireland, that was very fascinating that you took the time to calculate the speed of that UFO that was captured in that RT news footage. That was excellent. Appreciate that. Seamus is a great contributor to the program and always has something great to say. We've even played some of his videos. You also know him as Info Warrior, the Enlightened One, on YouTube. Excellent nickname as well. I like that. So let's get moving on here. Now we're going to go to Oregon. And this is a video that was also captured on Independence Day, July 4th in the United States. And this was captured apparently out over the ocean, right off the coast. And it also has natural sound. So let's get this started from Oregon.
Stabilizing. Yeah, I see it blinking. UFO. Oregon.
July 4th.
July 4th, a great little whatever it is out there, UFO.
2013.
Broadcasting live somewhere out there. Yours truly, John Kenneth Hutchison.
It was one light split to two. Had all these sparklies around it when it split. Oh yeah. I'm seeing sparklies now. Are you seeing them?
No, I see it winkling around. I see now two of them, one underneath it. What the earth is that thing?
One is lower than the other. Do you see that?
Yep, one is lower than the other, and I have no idea what it is. Doesn't look like a star system or a planet.
John Hutchinson, you definitely have the voice for narrating your own videos there. That was fascinating. You sound like you should be on the radio or television. You'll probably be discovered on UFO Planet and be a gazillionaire. Okay, now we're going to take a look at a video that is titled Huge UFO Orb Over Portugal. And now this is our first video clip from Portugal ever. This was shot with night vision equipment. And as you remember on a previous episode of UFO Planet, we had guest Charles Lamoureux from Vancouver, Canada, who shared with us his night vision photography. And it's fascinating. Here, we're going to take a look at the same type of equipment in use in Portugal. Get the clip started here. This was shot by Carlos Lopez on July 3rd, 2013, using night vision equipment. I find this equipment quite fascinating. In a couple of weeks here, I'll be heading to the city of Calgary to shop for some of my own. Not quite as much activity as we saw in Charles Lamoureux's videos. And we're going to feature some of Charles' videos on upcoming episodes again. He's been out with his camera doing some heavy-duty shooting, and we're going to show you some of those clips. This particular clip was shot in Portugal. Our first ever video from the country of Portugal. Okay, a little bit better view here in slow motion so that you can get a little bit better idea that there are objects or an object up in the sky. In this particular shot, we can see 3 lights. Apparently for about $500, you can set yourself up with the night vision gear that you need to be able to do this, providing that you already have a camera. Cameras, as you all know, range in price from just a couple of $100s up to thousands of dollars. Trust me, it's better to spend a little more money and buy a much better camera. I have a Sony SD camera that can't capture a thing in low light, and that one I paid about $300 for. I also have a Sony high definition camera, a few of them, that were about $1,600 a piece, and they can capture just about anything in any level of light. Again, this particular video captured on July 3rd, 2013, over the country of Portugal. Very interesting. Next, we're going to go to Tacoma, Washington, up in the northwest corner of the United States of America, close to Canada, as a matter of fact. And we're going to take a look at a video that was captured there on July 4th as well. Get this clip going here. This one has 2 objects in it. I take and digitally zoom in onto the object that you see on the left side of your screen so that you can get a little bit of an idea of what we're looking at. As I mentioned before, a lot of these clips are recorded on July 4th, so there's potential that there's something up in the sky that's man-made. I don't know how many Americans launched Chinese lanterns to celebrate the 4th of July, but there is that potential here with this particular video, in my opinion. We wanted to take a kind of a snapshot of what happened around the world on July 4th. So that's why you're seeing a lot of videos today that were captured in different parts of the world, very close to July 4th, or actually on July 4th. And that includes this next video clip that we're going to take a look at. This was submitted by a UFO Planet viewer named Norbert, and Norbert is from Warsaw, Poland. Norbert sent me a few emails, and in the email that he included this clip with, Norbert said he's really interested to know what he was looking at. Now, just a little pre-talk about it. It looks a lot like a Chinese lantern. The difference here is that Chinese lanterns rise into the atmosphere, and this particular object is falling from the sky or coming down, descending. So take a close look at it, and let's see if we can't help Norbert figure out what he's been looking at. Let's see, make sure I get the right button here. This, as I mentioned before, was recorded on July 4, 2013. Not a very long clip, but we're going to look at it a few times here for the few different ways just to see. Now, you'll notice that object is coming down. It's descending, not ascending. As we all know, Chinese lanterns ascend because they have a heat source that is generating hot air, which causes lift. Although this object is coming down. Now, myself, I have never launched or watched up close a Chinese lantern, so the possibility went through my head. Is it possible that the candle is nearing the end of its life, and that's what we're watching? We're watching the death of a Chinese lantern. Now, having said that, how much heat from that candle does it take to generate the lift? Does the lantern continue to rise up until the candle goes out and then descends? I'm hoping that there's a viewer out there who has launched their own Chinese lantern or viewed them up close that can help fill in the gap there a little bit and tell us what the behavior of a Chinese lantern is at the end of its life. Thank you, Norbert, for sharing this with us, and hopefully we have a viewer out there or several viewers who can help solve that and tell us what we're looking at there. Next, we're going to take a trip on the ocean. You heard me. We're going to go on an ocean voyage on the majesty of the sea with a viewer, Herman May, from Buenos Aires, Argentina. Now, Herman contacted me a couple of days ago via email and sent along a video clip that he captured while he was on an ocean-going cruise on a cruise ship. I had no idea they had UFO entertainment on those as well. I'm signing up right away. So anyway, we had a little bit of a discussion. I reviewed the video. The video quality isn't the best, but it's fascinating that someone captured a UFO footage while they were out on the ocean. Let's check out what Herman had to say. Herman, welcome to UFO Planet today.
Thank you, Darren. It's my pleasure being in your program.
Well, Herman, you sent me an email with a UFO video that was attached that was quite fascinating. Now, this UFO sighting that you had happened while you were on a cruise ship on the ocean. Majesty of the Sea, is that correct?
Yes, that's correct. We were having a 4-night trip to Bahamas, and this was the one exciting point in our trip, an unexpected gift.
Absolutely. So can you tell us a little bit about what happened that night? How did you go about discovering that there was a UFO near the ship? And just give us a little rundown of what you went through.
Well, we just finished dinner at around 8 something, and we went out to deck 7 and just sit down for taking a rest. But I usually look at the skies. I'm trying to, find something, but never thought that moment was going to be the right one. So I sat down and looked at the sky. I saw a black point, and I told my girlfriend if she was seeing the same thing. And she said, yes, it was static, and she volunteered to go down to deck 2 and pick up the radio camera. And in the meantime, the first thing I tried to do is just to, stick looking at that black dot and see it suddenly move, but it is,
It stayed there and hovered in one spot, did it?
Yes, yes.
Okay, now just one other thing here. Can you tell us where you were located? Were you in the ocean at this time, or were you in port?
Well, we were moving from Key West, Florida, to Miami. So somewhere on the standard route, I think, from the ship. Okay. I think we have departed Key Biscayne at 5 p.m. or so, and we plan to arrive 7 a.m. to Miami.
Okay. So carry on there. Now, your girlfriend went to get your camera, and then what happened from that point?
Well, those few minutes looks like a lifetime. So what I did, I see a couple of passengers, a Japanese couple, and I went to them and say, "Well, are you seeing that black spot in the sky?" And they didn't understood me. So, but somehow I understand that there was their daughter somewhere that she was going to come back. So I asked them to take some picture when she come back. And at the same moment, my girlfriend arrived. So I shot two videos, and I uploaded the second one this morning. The first
Okay.
one is, a lot of effort trying to focus on the black spot. I didn't realize it was in autofocus. I didn't know how to manage the camera because it was brand new. I bought it on Sunday.
Oh,
And
you did a pretty
yeah,
good job for just having barely purchased the camera.
well, but I just bought it to film this kind of thing. But
Oh,
I was
excellent.
extremely lucky. Yeah, I look for a Sony because, the good reputation on capturing, at the dark side, low light. And, I will keep on looking at the sky.
So it was an excellent video, and your Sony does a good job. We use all Sony equipment here in the studio as well, because exactly for the reason you said, it works well in low light. But when you looked up at this object in the sky, did it have an appearance of being a metallic object, or what exactly did it look like in your eyes?
At the naked eye, it was just a black spot, a black dot. And, it was 8 a.m. The sun has go down, I think, 20 or 30 minutes ago. So no bright from any other source, but it was just a black thing. But when I reproduce a video on my 40 inches TV, I can see a 1 centimeter thing that looks like it's moving. You can see some diamond kind of form with the spikes that are,
Hmm.
lighter. But it's a strange thing. And I've been talking with Blake Cousin
Hmm.
through Skype, and we agreed that that's not the plane, not the helicopter, not the Zeppelin, not the weather balloon. I look for images to see if there are some weather balloons like look like that, but I don't know anything that can hover rather than a Zeppelin. Now,
Well,
that's not a
I
Zeppelin.
think too, Herman, the fact that you were out over the ocean kind of discounts a lot of things that you
Yeah.
may see if you were over land. What exactly, is going to be out over the ocean? They don't release weather balloons from in the middle of the ocean, as an example. So
Yep.
perhaps
And
what you were seeing was something from out of this world. Is that what you think?
well, I'm trying to figure it out. And the reason I posted is because I want to get feedback from people that the way I found your program is looking this subject on the web and trying to gather information. You know, because there are a lot of fake things around. So I decided it's a personal challenge to go and try to have my own experience with that, so I know if I'm fooling myself or. So this is something real. I have no clue what it is, but it's fun to try to figure it out.
Well, absolutely, and it meets the criteria. It's an unidentified flying object.
Yeah,
So you shot your first UFO, and
yeah.
and so what do you think? Do you think that there are people, these UFOs? Do you think there are people visiting our world from other worlds, or do you think they're from our own world? Well, just speculate for me.
Okay. Well, this will trigger uh, because the phenomena is real. I know there are things that are real, but if it is, what we know that uh, some objects defeating our physics, our physics might be wrong, right? Completely wrong, uh, because it's quite difficult to travel from other star to our planet.
Takes a long
Take a
time.
lot of, yeah. So it might have a big impact in our physics, if that's true. Or, now, already, you know, physics is not doing pretty well because mechanic quantics doesn't match with relativity nor with the Newtonian physics. You have three different physics for three different things. So that's a clue that this is not completely right. So if this is real and if this is coming from other world, well, our physics might be wrong. Or they might be here living with us. We have a little
That's hard to
limited
say.
sensing. Yeah.
That's a
But it's,
difficult call.
yeah.
So you're obviously into UFOs, and I imagine after having had this experience and buying the new camera, that you're probably going to be keeping your camera pointed to the sky a lot more now.
Yes, yes. And I have seen a lot of objects nearby planes, so I plan to film those planes as if I caught my own, if I can catch my own. And well, we see, we see. I have some ideas also. I would like to monitor the moon and try to have a program that looks at the videos on my behalf. I have seen in Norway, they have a station that they are, you know, uh, filming and analyzing, and when they have some frames that change from a frame to frame, they just pop up an image. That's a pretty good idea, and to, you know, to monitor moon or the sky. But this, you know,
Absolutely. Well, there's
I
a lot
think
of people who say there's a lot of activity up on the moon, and I've seen a lot of videos of activity from there. So that would be very interesting. When you capture that video, you know who to call.
yeah, well, I know.
Well, Herman, I
I know.
appreciate you being on the program today and sharing your encounter with us. The viewers at home have been watching your encounter during our conversation here. Very exciting, and wish you all the best.
Okay, thank you. My pleasure and good show. Thank you very much.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
Well, Herman, you seem to have it all. If this was junior high school, I'd be totally jealous of you. Let's see, you got the girl, the cruise, and the UFO vid. Excellent. Closest I've ever been while I'm single. Closest I've ever been to an ocean cruise liner is a fire rescue boat. And my first UFO video really, really sucked. That's why you've never seen it on the program. But well done, Herman. Appreciate you joining us here on UFO Planet to share your experience. Now, I just want to remind you again that we really need to give our little buddy here a name. She was created by Herbert, I don't even want to, Tolchowski in Germany. I'm sorry if I got your name wrong there, Herbert. I only ever get to see it in email. But we need to give this little gal a name here. She appears on every episode of UFO Planet. She's kind of my sense of humor showing up in the program. And we need to help her out. So visit our website, and I'll have a spot there where you can, in the forums, where you can suggest your name for our little gal here. So that's all we have for today. I wrote myself a note here so I wouldn't forget. I've been promising this for weeks now, and that's to speak in Swedish to Ramona, one of our #1 fans, who's almost always one of the first people to watch the program. So here we go. Ramona, I was due to live in Sweden for a couple of years, and so I studied Swedish, and I was going to be there. Now I'm going to speak in Swedish to tell you. I was going to be an lärare, spending a lot of time in front of a skrivbord representing Jesu Kristi kyrka av Sister Degas Heliga. So now you know all the Swedish I do. Well, actually, I remember quite a bit more, but that's all I'm going to try. Anyway, I appreciate everyone that watches the program. You're all a bunch of wonderful people. During the course of the last year, I have learned a ton. I thought the tech world had a high, steep learning curve. Apparently, the UFO world is right there as well. Over the course of the last year, 1.4 million of you have watched UFO Planet, and 5,000 of you have subscribed to regularly receive updates from us here on the program. Appreciate that very much. A majority of that has been since March of this year. So there's a lot of great UFO fans out there, and I'd sincerely appreciate the responsible commenting. I think I have the best UFO channel on the entire internet simply because I have the best viewers and the comments are spectacular. During the course of the last year, we've only had to block 11 people, and I think that is phenomenal. That says a lot about the kind of people who watch UFO Planet. Thank you so much for being one of those people. And I'm Darren Crapo, and this is UFO Planet, and I'll see you again on Thursday.
Look at the sky, I saw a black hole, and I told my girlfriend she was seeing the same thing.